Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is the PAPAJO Show, where Papa Joe knows. I am your host, Papa Joe. I want to say thank you all for being here. My regulars, you guys and gals, would not be doing this if it wasn't for you all. And if you are new here, consider subscribing. Help me grow the channel out. Those are my regulars. Share the link out right now while we're going live. Get other people in here. It's always a fun chat, and you all know that we have fun with the live chat. And when it makes sense and whatnot, do me a favor with that live chat. Go ahead and have a conversation amongst yourselves. And towards the end of the show, stick around and we'll do a Q&A if anyone has any questions, concerns, comments, throw them in there. I will address them towards the end of the show. As I know, there's a lot of very wise and experienced people in the chat, and they may also answer the questions as well. So if you would not mind considering checking out my Patreon show. I do a Patreon in the afternoon at 4:30 Eastern. I will not be doing one today. My children have a music recital, and I will be ducking out for that one a little earlier, and I will not have time to do the show. So I do apologize about that, but check it out. It's scrolling up on the screen right now. Grab that link as well. It's in the description of the video. Share it out. Help me grow that channel out if it makes sense for you. That is where I get to talk about stuff they would normally get the videos ripped offline and the channel deleted. So I do touch about some of the same things in here, but I really try to get into the nuts and bolts and give you guys tidbits and more exclusive content around certain things like, hey, look at this coin, look what they're doing, and also I'm working on some interviews, trying to get them lined up. As I'm able to do those will be early access in Patreon only. I will, depending on the content in the video, it may stay only in Patreon. If it makes sense to put it out on the rest for everyone else to see, I'll consider that. It'll be on a case-by-case basis. So also, last little tidbit here, last little thing. If you want to help the channel out, and if you want to educate yourself and learn about crypto in depth, check out Crypto Confidential. It's scrolling on the bottom of the screen here. It's linked in the description of the video. I highly recommend that. The group of people behind that really know what they're doing. They're living the life of crypto only, and they're doing it in the correct, we'll call it legal way, if you will. There's a lot of people have questions about legality and all that kind of crap with it, and or taxes and all that kind of stuff. They address those types of things in there. Check it out. It's worth the investment. It's worth having access to those people. It's technically, I think, a small price, if you will, to pay to have access to the group of people that are behind that. I may or may not write for them every once in a while in their articles, but we'll see. Anyways, let's jump right into the content. Like I said, if you have any questions or comments, throw them in the chat and we'll address them. Stick around to the end of the video and we will address them towards the end. So there we go. Let's jump right in, shall we? Looking at the markets today, we had a nasty sell-off yesterday. Nobody really knows why, but it is definitely correlated with the Dow. The tech stocks, everything else, SP 500, the NASDAQ, they're all over the place. Everything's just dropping down, right? I have a theory that everything will tank, including cryptos, at some point when the bottom officially falls out. But it realistically feels like we're teetering on that. Realistically, it really feels like we're teetering on it. When that does happen, crypto will stop. The rest of the market will continue to collapse. Now, something I didn't think about, I'm going to throw another little thing in here when I say this next thing here. My regulars hear me say it often. When that happens, people are not going to rush into the dollar because the dollar isn't worth anything. They're going to rush into crypto. Crypto is the exit strategy. But I'm going to throw a caveat in there. The corporations, as they pull out or have the cash available, they're not going to be pulling that and putting it into crypto. Not necessarily. They might put some in there. There may be a good bit in there, right? They probably will do that too. But they're also going to go look at real estate. When real estate's on sale, a corporation can technically buy their real estate and then rent it out. Look at BlackRock. They're doing that. There's other corporations that are doing that already. Okay. Now, if the market collapses and they have all these mortgage-backed securities and the bonds and everything that they're doing, and they're screwing with people's lives doing that kind of stuff, if they then buy the actual hard asset like they would with Bitcoin, what do you think is going to happen? The price of real estate is going to continue to either stay the same or rise. Just a thought. I started about that this morning. I was like, holy cow. That is a very real possibility as well, which would cause other adverse reactions to things. So think about that kind of stuff. The housing market may not correct as people think because of those types of things. By the way, throw in the chat who's drinking coffee, who's drinking whatever. Throw it out there what you're drinking. I don't know what this is. It's black coffee. This one I think we're out of the from Mexico. I don't know which one this one's from. It may be from I don't know, somewhere in South America. Right for the show, my amazing, wonderful wife brought it down. She does every day whenever I don't have the time to do it. Literally, I will go from meetings and meetings and meetings and jump right into the show. And I have very little time to get ready for the show. Do y'all know that I don't really prep for the shows? I just talk. I just come in here and have this. This is why I like to do the live shows, right? I if I had more time to prep for the shows and me get more polished and stuff like that, I don't know if it'd be a good thing or not, but I definitely do like just jumping in and talking to you guys and gals. This is great stuff. So, as I titled, Stagflation and Bitcoin Adoption. A major recession is coming, Deutsche Bank warns. And we talk about these different things on the show because I try to take a high-level view of what's going on in the world from an economic standpoint and go, hey, this crypto thing over here, the Bitcoins thing over here, yeah, that's what people are going to use as their exit strategy because they're going to run out of the markets and they're going to run into crypto because crypto is a value that cannot be stolen and printed away like the dollar. Deutsche Bank raised eyebrows earlier this month, becoming the first major bank to forecast a recession, albeit a mild one, still a recession. Now, its new warning of a deeper downturn caused by the Federal Reserve's, hiccups, quest to knock down stubbornly high inflation. It's a delayed reaction. You would think that the people running the show with the banks would understand that when they print stuff, it's like running. I don't know if anyone of you been on a sailboat or any boat for that matter. I guess it doesn't matter. You turn the engines off, you still go. Right? They printed all this money, is running. They're moving along. Well, they need it to stop now to kill the engines, or they drop the sails. Guess what? The boat does not just stop. No, it's going to continue going. They didn't stop the engines in time. And like with the sailboat, you can't just, if it's a true sailboat, and you can't just flip a propeller on and hit reverse and slow it down. It doesn't work so well. You'll have cavitation, all kinds of stuff. Anyways, we'll get a major recession, Deutsche Bank economists wrote in a report to clients on Tuesday. The problem, according to the bank, is that while inflation may be peaking, it will take a long time before it gets down to the Fed's goal of 2%. You raised the rates 2% when you printed 80% of the current U.S. dollar supply in the past 2 years. That's it's comical. You all see that, right? This is like comical. That's just the central bank will raise interest rates so aggressively that it hurts the economy. We regret it as highly likely as we regard it. As highly likely that the Fed will have to step on the brakes even more firmly, and a deep recession will be needed to bring inflation to heel. Deutsche Bank economists wrote in this report with an ominous title: "Why the coming recession will be worse than expected." So, stagflation is a big problem. However, it could also trigger major Bitcoin adoption. Stagflation can be defined as a prolonged period in which the economy experiences persistently high inflation, high unemployment rates, and stagnant aggregate demand. It is a period where central banks experience a zugzwang situation. I actually don't know what that situation is. If you know in the chat here, zugzwang, let me know. Where monetary tools meant to control rising inflation lead to higher unemployment and lower economic production. This is very, very, very true to everything we are seeing. You guys and gals can see that. Inflation in major world economies is currently at multi-year highs. For example, the United States reported an annual inflation of 8.5% in March 2022, while the Eurozone reported an annual inflation rate of 7.4%. In the United Kingdom, March 2022 inflation was at 7%. Rising energy costs have largely contributed to the rise in inflation rates in major large economies. Let's go down here to where it talks about the Bitcoin. Where was it? You guys know all that stuff about this stuff with the where did it go? Okay, here we go. This implies that the first world countries are headed towards stagflation. As the Federal Reserve Bank of the U.S., the Bank of England, Europe, your central bank, and other major central banks hurry to hike interest rates, control inflation, loans will become expensive, and stock markets will weaken, as we have already seen. I have shown you guys often on the show here that the mortgage rates are sky high. They haven't been this high since, since 2010-ish. It's been a long time. Okay. Investors will increasingly consider Bitcoin as a viable option for storing and preserving value over time, as other assets may become risky over time. That's what this whole premise of this type of information that I talk about this stuff in my shows. Everyone, there's a time and place for everything and everyone, right? People really look at the technical analysis. Beautiful. It's important. People look at the adoption. We do that on the show here. It's important. Combine the two. Combining the two is what we try to do here on this show, and that's why I talk about these things. Guess what? Forbes is finally taking a step back and going, yep, I could see that. Bitcoin, they're literally admitting that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, this isn't just Bitcoin, okay, that it is a viable option for storing and preserving value over time, as other assets become more risky over time. For starters, currency depreciation caused by money printing is already driving people away from the dollar, euro, and other fiat currencies. People increase the supply of US dollars by trading fiat currencies for other assets deemed to be appreciating, resulting in higher inflation. As stagflation sets in, the equities market may turn bearish and as marginal earnings deteriorate over time. This makes the capital and all the interest rates go up. The supply of Bitcoin held at exchanges is the most powerful factor increasing the likelihood of Bitcoin decoupling from equities. According to a recent Coindesk article, the amount of Bitcoin held in exchange fell by 18% in April 2022 compared to May 2020. This, as this balance continues to shrink, the low Bitcoin liquidity may cause Bitcoin price to become more volatile, resulting in decoupling. That it needs to decouple, it already has. The decoupling form and correlation with the equities could indicate that widespread Bitcoin adoption is accelerating, whereas stagflation could be the underlying fundamental factor driving Bitcoin adoption. Hello. Confirmation of everything I've been saying on the show for a little bit now. This is not a joke. This is what's going to be happening. I have been saying this. I'm not going to stop saying it. So, we have global, by the way, Bitcoin adoption. The Central Bank of Africa, the Central African Republic adopts Bitcoin as legal tender. Now we have another sovereign nation saying Bitcoin is officially legal tender. A statement from the president's office on Wednesday confirms the passing of and signing of the necessary legislation. Confirming rumors that have been around for the few days, the Central African Republic has become the second nation in the world to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. According to the statement of the president's office, the National Assembly passed and he signed a bill drafted by the Minister of Digital Economy and the Minister of Finance and Budget. I'm not going to name, not even going to try to say their names. Sorry, guys, gals. The legislation established a legal regulatory framework for cryptocurrencies and made Bitcoin legal tender alongside the existing CFA franc. So excuse me. So their dollar, their fiat is still legal tender, but Bitcoin is as well. So they both act the same. Guess what's going to happen? People are going to start using Bitcoin and Bitcoin only, and their franc is going to disappear. There's a common narrative that sub-Saharan African countries are often one step behind when it comes to adoption of new technology. Finance Minister said last week, as quoted in Bloomberg, this time we can't actually say that our country is one step ahead. The Central African Republic has a population of 4.83 million, around 11%, which have access to the internet. Less than a year ago, El Salvador became the first country to adopt this legal tender. Adoption. When you have stagflation, when you have fiat currency that is printed to oblivion and you have no purchasing power whatsoever, people will naturally look for another way to have a means of exchange. Bitcoin is a store of value. Litecoin is a means of exchange. Brazil's Senate approves a Bitcoin law to regulate cryptocurrencies. I still scratch my head as to why they even try. Cryptocurrency is already regulated because it's riding on a blockchain, and blockchain technology in and of itself is a regulated system. The lack of education about what blockchain is baffling to me. That's why I started a business doing this stuff. AstraBlockchainConsulting.com. It's linked in the description of the video. I do one-on-one consultations. I'll do a consultation with a business about an idea around stuff, and that kind of thing. That's the way it works. Okay, it is a historic day for cryptocurrencies in Brazil, as the Senate has finally approved the country's first bill aimed at regulating the crypto market. We don't really need regulation. We need around the market. We need regulation in entering the market as a project. All these different currencies that have come out, and they're just setting up a currency. Yeehaw, right? Great. No, you need to have a real business use case. You need to have a real thing you're trying to solve with the technology. You can't just be going and standing up a stupid cryptocurrency just to stand up a cryptocurrency. There's a lot more involved in this. A lot more. Brazil Senate has passed the country's first bill governing cryptocurrencies in a plenary session. Whatever. I guess that'll. But anyways, which will set the stage for the creation of a regulatory framework for the country's crypto industry. The bill must be approved by the Chamber of Deputies and then signed off by the President to become law in the country. This is expected to occur by the end of 2022, according to experts who spoke with Cointelegraph Brazil. The session that approved the project was chaired by Senate President who said, "I want to congratulate the rapporteur of the project, Senator Edrager." I'm not even gonna for approval, and here in the plenary of the Senate for this important bill. Federal Deputy. Well, I'm gonna stop reading. I can't read their names. I'm just gonna stop reading their names. I can't. Basically, Brazil's adopting Bitcoin. There. Central Africa. Guess what else? BitMEX CEO explains how Bitcoin will have hit $1 million by 2030. The European Union is finished. Arthur Hayes says, while the yield curve control will put the U.S. in a doom loop. Yep, it's true. Bitcoin will cost $1 million by 2030. One of the industry's best-known pundits insist as countries worldwide shun the euro and the dollar, which they are. I don't know if you've known this or not, but all the other countries around the world are they don't want the dollar. They don't want anything to do with it. You travel and you try to use a dollar, you might get some people to take it, and you may not. Before you could get anyone to take it. In his latest blog post, published on April 27, Arthur Hayes, former CEO of crypto diversities giant BitMEX, doubled down on his sky-high price, predicting Bitcoin and gold. Bitcoin, gold, commodities, just not fiat. In light of the sanctions in Russia over the invasion of Ukraine, a giant pivot in both geopolitical and economic policy is coming. As the US and European Union battle to reduce dependency on Russian energy and food, the long-term repercussions are all but certain to hurt them and send Bitcoin to the moon. The situation is complex. Inflation, already at 40-year highs before Ukraine conflict, is being exacerbated by Western sanctions, while Russia is reeling from the West, freezing hundreds of billions of dollars worth of its offshore assets. China, meanwhile, is eyeing the situation and viewing the potential itself from a copycat move targeting its assets. Since the end of the 1990s, the various whatever. Basically, I don't think he's necessarily wrong. The dollar is worthless. They printed too much of it, and it is backed by nothing. Everyone's like, well, Bitcoin's not backed by anything. Other cryptocurrencies are backed by anything. Some cryptocurrencies aren't backed by anything. Some cryptocurrencies are businesses, and it is the access tokens to their platforms. Some of them legitimately have a business use case where those tokens are required for the ecosystem. Others, like Litecoin and Bitcoin, guess what? It is backed by an entire network of a decentralized and distributed system that is protecting it from inflation or control by any single entity. It is freedom for humanity. It gives you the freedom to do what you want to do. That is invaluable, in my opinion. That is invaluable. Yep, Davy Daddy, welcome, brother. Crypto commandment number 1: the dollar is garbage. If you don't know what he's talking about, I will flip over here to my Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, by the way, it's PAPAJO42. I highly recommend you check me out. The 10 crypto commandments. The dollar is garbage. Now, that is part of Crypto Confidential. Go to my Twitter, click this link, and sign up. Or it's in the description of the video. Sign up. There's tons of stuff that is done in that group. They are definitely worth the investment. Not joking. Now, all this adoption is kind of cool, isn't it? Yeah. And the pride and arrogance of the banks, thinking they can continue to control, when the world decided to say, we're going to stop that with Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, blockchain technology. It's going to be very interesting watching them crumble under their own weight, under their own stupidity. Now, last little thing I wanted to talk about. I'm going to spend some time on it on my Patreon show. I'm just going to throw it out there. You guys do your own research on this, but really check it out. Now, Flexa. Who knows about Flexa? Flexa has partnered with the Litecoin Foundation. Flexa is a network similar to the Lightning Network, except their integration capabilities are far more than the Lightning Network. Flexa is a deeper dive into a new payment links with payment SDKs and tools now available for merchants in early access. Earlier today, Flexa introduced Flexa Payments, a new set of tools for merchants to simply and instantly accept over 99 different digital currencies from any app or wallet, access 12 of the most popular blockchain networks. No one's done that yet. John Kim has been very, very interestingly integrated with this, and I highly recommend you follow him on Twitter. That's huge, people. That's huge. The Flexa Payments platform includes 2 products available now in early access: payment links and payment SDKs from a technical aspects. Okay. And will expand into include upcoming payments API for custom integration layers. So basically, if you're a major retailer and you have a payments processing system and you want to be able to accept cryptocurrency, all you have to do is either accept or configure their SDK in the backend of your system, or wait for the API layer to be exposed. And when the API layer is exposed, all you got to do is integrate with it, and you have an option for your customers to be able to spend their crypto and go right into your payments accounts. This is one of the biggest adoption things in this space that I have seen in a long time, and I'm very excited about it. And guess what? Guess what? I don't own AMP. I don't have any. I have my eggs are in other baskets. This is that good of a project, and there's no bias here for me. I want to see this succeed. This is real adoption. This is huge. Their integrations. Okay. Arus, I don't know what that is. Blackhawk, Centcoin. Who knows who Clover is? Just about every restaurant and bar in the daggum country uses Clover as their POS system. Who knows who NCR is? Major retailers around the world use NCR for their POS systems. Who knows who Shopify is? That's coming soon. Do you guys see this? Income. It's huge. Some of these other companies are companies that people don't even know because they own the other companies behind the companies that do the actual stuff. Flexa is huge. Okay? This is not a joke. Seriously, go do some research on this. It's really, really cool. All in the right timing. Everything's right timing. I wanted to cover this in the Patreon since we're not doing the Patreon today. I'm just going to throw this out there for you guys and gals. Y'all have fun with it. I will throw this in a comment under the video and pin it in the video when I'm done here in a moment. So, adoption caused by stagflation. The old system is dying. The people behind the helm, the ship's sinking, and it's almost like they're just sitting there balled up in a corner, frozen. Can't do anything about it. Let's run through the chat here. Say hey to everyone, and if you have any comments, questions, concerns, throw them in the live chat, and I'll take a look at them here in just a moment. Good afternoon, Tom. What's going on? It is good to see you, my friend. Daddy, what's up? How's it going? Appreciate you being here. Divvy Daddy, what's up, brother? Appreciate you being here, dude. I love you to death. Bitcoin Bull, love it. Love the show. Love it, love it, love it. Love the title, PAPAJO. What happens? We dance in the streets. The cabal hides. I don't think they're going to hide. They're going to be removed. That's just my opinion. But anyways. Coffee talk. Talk amongst yourselves. Remember that old SNL skit before SNL went... say, yeah. Coffee. People, what are you drinking? It is good stuff, right? Tom, Divvy just turned green. I didn't pull Divvy up today, did I? Where's Divvy? Yeah, it did. Look at that. Cool. Sorry. Barely in the green, but it's in the green. Let's see here. Sai, what's going on? How you doing? It's good to see you. Appreciate you. You're drinking tea. Fantastic. I love me a good cup of tea. I do burdock root tea, though. That's been really good for me recently. David Daddy, what's up? I'm not drinking Kool-Aid. No, you're just drinking Capri Suns, right? I got to show you something, by the way. Next time we talk, I'm going to show you something about Capri Suns that you'll really like. What's going on, Lithia? How are you? Appreciate you being here. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see here. Yep, Tom B, your own bank for sure. Oh, let's see. The old system, dinosaurs just can't let go. It's just it's a beast. That's why it's called The Creature from Jekyll Island. If you haven't read the book, you should read that book. I need to tell Gilbert Griffin. Someone needs to tell him or talk about that all the time. I'd love to have him on the show. That'd be fun. On the Patreon, though. That would be a Patreon conversation only. Oh, let's see here. What's going on? Let's see. The dollar is chit for sure. Yeah, we don't want the dollar either. I just hold enough dollars to pay bills, dude. That's yes, very much so. Same thing there. Very much so. Let's see here. What's going on? Yep. Just a matter of time, and AMP is gonna rock it. It's huge, man. What's going on, Rick? How you doing, brother? And yes, thank you. Smash the likes. If you've gotten this far in the show, do me a favor. Smash the likes. It helps the algorithms let other people find this content. Very much so. Yes, burdock root is a good blood cleanser. Yes. It I think is part of the reason my eczema has kind of started disappearing. I don't know. Somebody mentioned it to me, and I checked it out, and it really kind of it's made it kind of disappear a little bit. Bitcoin Bull question: best way to find Cliff High's latest videos? Hard to find them or find anything new on YouTube or Rumble. He's on BitChute. If you're not on BitChute, BitChute is a blockchain-based streaming app or streaming platform. Once it's on there, unless you, the person who puts the video there, it doesn't get deleted. It can't be deleted. You are the one who holds it. It is a pretty cool setup. So that is how BitChute. Go check out his stuff on BitChute. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and cut it there, folks. I think I'm late for a meeting, actually. I need to go check out and be part of. So anyways, y'all be blessed. We'll see you. I will see you tomorrow. There's no Patreon today. Okay, kiddos have a recital tonight. So y'all be blessed. Have a good rest of the day. Bye-bye.